Tucked away in the quiet folds of Odisha's Jajpur district, the wind carries a whisper that has echoed for over 2000 years. This is Lalitgiri. Long before modern asphalt carved through these ancient valleys, this green expanse was a bustling sanctuary for scholars, spirituals, and monastics from across the ancient world. Together with its sister sites, Ratnagiri and Udaygiri, Lalitgiri forms what modern historians call the Diamond Triangle, a sprawling network of Buddhist monastic universities that rivaled the intellectual heft of Nalanda and Taxila. But Lalitgiri holds a profound distinction. It is the oldest of them all, with roots plunging deep into the 1st century BCE. As you walk among these weathered red brick foundations, the boundary between earth and the antiquity blurs. Every pillar fragment, every carved stone doorway, and every silent stupa tells a story of an era when Buddhism was not merely a philosophy, but a living, breathing art form that transformed the landscape of eastern India. Over the next 20 minutes, we will journey back in time to decode the stones of Lalitgiri, exploring the lives of the monks who once walked here, the artistic evolution etched into basalt, and the miraculous discovery of relics that shook the archaeological world. To understand Lalitgiri, one must first look at how its residents lived. This was not a single temple, but a thriving monastic complex comprising massive brick monasteries, chaitya halls, and votive stupas. As we pan across the foundation of the primary monastery, notice the layout. A vast central courtyard sits open to the sky, flanked by dozens of small monastic cells. In these tiny rooms, monks spent decades meditating, translating sacred texts, and studying the Dharma. There was no luxury here, just a simple stone bed, a niche for an oil lamp, and a heavy wooden door keeping the elements at bay. The architecture reflects a sophisticated mastery of brick masonry. Without modern mortar, ancient builders locked massive baked red brick tightly together, creating walls that have withstood monsoons, invasions, and centuries of overgrowth. Drainage system massive, stone thresholds and grand entrance portals reveal a community engineered for long-term habitation. Monks rose before dawn, beginning their day with collective chanting in the courtyard, before scattering to perform daily chores, copy sacred manuscripts on palm leaves, or teach lay pilgrims traveling up from the Mahanadi and Birupa river valleys. Trade routes crossed right through these regions, turning Lalitgiri into a cosmopolitan melting pots of merchants, royalty, and wandering ascetics. At the apex of Lalitgiri Hill stands its most sacred monument, the great apsidal stupa. For generations, locals knew the hill was ancient, but the true magnitude of Lalitgiri remained locked away beneath layers of earth and stone that changed dramatically between 1985 and 1992, when the Archaeological Survey of India initiated major excavations at the core of the hill's top stupa. Archaeologists made a discovery that would rewrite the history books. Buried deep within concentric structural layers sat three nested cascades crafted from rare condylite stone, statite, silver, and solid gold. These are now placed in the museum in the periphery of this area. The Museum of Lalitgiri, you will find these kinds of the excavated monuments, sculptures, and different items. When experts carefully opened the innermost golden cascade, they revealed sacred bone relics, tiny fragments believed by leading historians to belong directly to historical Buddhist lineage or immediate disciples. In the ancient Buddhist tradition, a stupa is not a tomb but a living cosmic pillar anchoring the Buddha's presence on the earth. Unlike many ancient Indian sites that were plundered or destroyed during periods of political upheaval, Lalitgiri managed to keep its innermost heart safe. The recovery of these relics elevated Lalitgiri from a regional archaeological site to a globally significant pilgrimage destination. When you step inside the site museum, today you are greeted by an astonishing collection of stone sculptures. Lalitgiri serves as open-air masterclass in the evolution of Buddhist art over a span of more than 1,000 years. Early phases of the site favored an austere and iconic approach where the Buddha was represented symbolically through footprints, thrones, or the wheel of law. But as centuries rolled on, the artistic philosophy transformed. The rise of Mahayana and Vajrayana Buddhism brought forth breathtaking anthropomorphic sculptures carved out of fine granite condylite. Behold the magnificent statues of Avalokiteswar, Manjusri, and Tara. Notice the graceful Tribhanga posture, the triple bent stance that imbues cold stone with fluid, organic life. Notice the intricate detail in the crowns, the gentle, compassionate smiles, and the lotus thrones. Sculptors here did not just carve rock, they captured mercy, wisdom, and transcendence. Female deities like Pragya Paramita and Tara also gained prominence, symbolizing the profound integration of wisdom and compassion in later esoteric Buddhist traditions. All empires, institutions, and golden ages eventually face the shifting tides of time. By the 13th century, shifting political patronage, regional conflicts, and the decline of monastic funding led to the gradual abandonment of Lalitgiri. The monks departed, leaving their chants to the wind. Jungle vines slowly reclaimed the courtyards, burying brick and the mortar in a protective green blanket. Yet energy like this never truly fades. Today, as the golden hour sun casts long shadows across the excavated ruins, Lalitgiri stands as a timeless testament to human spirituality, endurance. It reminds us an era when art, architecture, and philosophy aligned in total harmony. Whether you visit as a spiritual pilgrim, a history enthusiast, or a curious traveler, Lalitgiri leaves an indelible mark. It teaches us that while civilization rise and fall, the human quest for inner peace, wisdom, and connection remains eternal. As the